Hello, this is Tony Niver, SDC's Quality Assurance Analyst. By now you've learned that not all cases of abuse or potential abuse are easily recognized. That is why training in recognizing the signs and symptoms early and knowing what to do can in many cases prevent abuse from occurring. Why does abuse or mistreatment occur in the first place? Some of the more common causes include staffing problems, bringing personal problems to work, constantly doing a one-to-one with an individual who is aggressive or very demanding, low staff morale, not knowing an individual's treatment plan, feeling stressed, overwhelmed, or overworked, pressure to complete all job responsibilities quickly, not knowing what constitutes abuse. There may be many factors that are difficult to pin down, but nevertheless cause staff to lash out at an individual inappropriately. How can staff help prevent abuse? Staff working together as a team and assisting each other when needed, knowing your limits, asking for help when needed, knowing the individual's treatment plan, awareness of one's own limitations and frustrations, learning the therapeutic approaches to crisis intervention, taking an incident reporting procedure training, which is required by all OPWDD and SDC staff. Finally, keeping the individual's behavior depersonalized. In the human services field, we often invest a great deal of our time, emotion, and energy in the individuals we care for. It's only natural that when situations arise with those individuals we are invested in, we may become frustrated, drained, even overwhelmed by their behavior. We must remember to maintain our cool and composure at all times. In other words, keep the behavior depersonalized, not the individual. Try to keep focused on the proactive part of the individual's treatment plan. Now, immediate steps that must be taken by staff in the event of an incident. Number one, this is always number one, the individual must always come first. You must always safeguard the individual and provide immediate care and service. If medical care is needed, make certain that you tend to the individual in a safe, prompt, and responsible manner. If you are uncertain as to what to do, contact an RN, coworker, or supervisor immediately. Once all necessary care has been provided to safeguard the health and safety of the individual, make certain that all correct forms and notifications have been completed before leaving your shift. When filling out your reports, OPWDD Form 147 needs to be filled out and all notifications made. The first person you're going to notify is your immediate supervisor. If they're unavailable, supervisor on call. If there's a medical issue or medical concerns, the nurse needs to be notified. SDC administration. The Justice Center needs to be notified within 24 hours of the reporting of the incident. Your local DDSO, in this case the Bronx DDSO. At this point it would be going to IRMA, where all incident reports are recorded for the state. Family members on record or legal guardians need to be notified. And when doing so, offer them Jonathan's Law and wait for a response. For any Willowbrook class consumers, the Consumer Advisory Board needs to be notified. Any parties as indicated in the individual's treatment team record also need to be notified. Okay, next we're going to talk about who is a mandated reporter. All staff having knowledge of an incident, whether directly or indirectly, must report what they have seen or heard about an incident. This information must be reported immediately to your direct supervisor or other appropriate administrator. I'll give you an example. If staff member Mary is on a community inclusion trip with IRA residents and is told by another staff person, John, that individual Frank told him, staff member Craig, slapped him in the face, then Mary has to report this information to her supervisor, possibly an RN if there's an injury, and also document such notification in the daily log and shift communication book. If Mary S. does not report what she was told or what she has heard about the incident, then Mary is now culpable in relation to the allegation of abuse. So the bottom line is, if you hear something or say something, you must do something. Just to review for a second, so far we've talked about why abuse occurs and how we can prevent it. Then we discussed the immediate steps to be taken to ensure the safety and well-being of our individuals, followed by whom to notify. Next, we will review the investigation process. Incident investigation. All reportable and serious reportable incidents must be investigated by the servicing agency. The Justice Center may decide to investigate key abuse and neglect incidents involving serious reportable incidents and sexual abuse incidents, or any incidents of a serious nature. Once an incident has been identified and reported, it is assigned to an investigator. An SDC, Quality Assurance Department, would take care of it. If the Justice Center decides that they're going to come in and handle the investigation, it becomes our responsibility to cooperate with them fully. Now, if you're the target of an investigation, it doesn't mean that you're in trouble. Things happen. People hear things that may or may not be true. Everyone who works in the state OPWDD system is charged with the responsibility to protect the safety and well-being of the individuals we work with. Our consumers depend on us to keep them safe, healthy, and interactive in the community. Safety and prevention of harm is something every one of us needs to be aware of. If an allegation of abuse or neglect directly involves a staff person, agency administration must make certain that person does not work with or have any contact with the individual who is the subject of the investigation, at least until the investigation has been concluded and the allegation not substantiated. If it's substantiated, administration will have to take other steps. The staff person can work somewhere else in the meantime in the agency, just not with the subject of the investigation. Any employee who is the target of an investigation cannot work or have any contact with the subject of an investigation. The target of the investigation can be assigned work duties in another building or department away from the serviced individuals, or placed on administrative leave during the investigation. If the investigation finds the suspected allegation is not substantiated, depending upon the investigation conclusion, recommendations, and administrative decision, the target is no longer a target and can return to their normal work responsibilities. During an investigation, all employees who work in a facility under OPWDD oversight are responsible for cooperating with the investigator. This includes making themselves available for interview and written statements. The final part of the incident reporting is the incident review. Once the investigator has completed the investigation, a determination based on all facts gathered is made to substantiate or not substantiate the findings. If a conclusion cannot be made, then the investigation is said to be inconclusive. The investigator makes the recommendations, then turns the written report over to administration. The final report is then reviewed by a standing incident review committee, where the recommendations are reviewed and acted upon. The incident review committee can make further recommendations. The incident remains open until the incident committee is satisfied all recommendations have been met or addressed and recommends the incident be closed. Finally, the family is notified of the incident outcome and the report filed. You are free to contact me at Quality Assurance with any questions or concerns regarding consumer health and safety questions.